2015 question number 27. Consider the following macroeconomic data for an economy which is operating at the equilibrium level. Consumption, tax, government, import, export, GDP. Level of investment in this economy. How are you going to find? You can use the normal GDP equation, right? Yeah, GDP expenditure approach. So how much is that? Or you can use the aggregate demand equation. AD equals this. Okay, so GDP, how much? GDP is C plus I plus Z plus net exports. GDP they have given 8,000. Consumption they say is 5,000. Investment I have to find. Government spending given 1,500. Net exports is how much? 980 minus 1,200. That is a minus 220. Okay, so I'm hoping you all figured out how the minus 220 came. 1,000 to 980 minus 1,200. Okay, can you all work around and give me an answer? How much is investment? 1,720. Yes. Okay, so investment is 1,720. That is question number 27. Then we'll go to question number 28 of the 2015 test. Interesting question. Diagram above displays a linear consumption function. If the autonomous consumption is 4,000, that means this one here, this is 4,000. Okay, autonomous consumption. What is the amount of consumption expenditure? Expenditure does point B correspond to? So they are asking at point B, how much is the consumption expenditure? That is what they are asking. How are you going to find this? Very easy. Yes. Can you think and tell me how much is the MPC in this question? How are you going to find that? When the income is 0, consumption is 4,000. That is what autonomous consumption means. When income is 0, consumption is 4,000. When income is 10,000, right? Consumption is 9,000. Okay. Based on this, can you tell me MPC kiyada? See, MPC is change in consumption divided by the change in income. How much do you get? Change in consumption 5,000, change in income 10,000, MPC 0.5. Okay. Now with that MPC equation, we can calculate this neither, don't you think? MPC is equal to change in consumption divided by the change in income. Or you can make a consumption equation and find this. Okay. So change in MPC 0.5. Change in consumption, we don't know. How much is the change in income? 10,000 going to 20,000. Change in income is 10,000. So how much is our change in consumption then? Change in consumption is 5,000. So how much should the consumption figure here be? If the change is 5,000, 9,000 should have become how much? 9,000 should have become 14,000, right? 9,000 should have become 14,000. Another way of doing it, also another easy way is, right? Now you have MPC, you have MPC, you have autonomous consumption. You can make the consumption equation then. So that means consumption is equal to 4,000 plus 0.5 YD. That's the consumption function. So then when YD is 20,000, how much is the consumption? That's what you have to find. When YD is 20, consumption given. So C is equal to 4,000 plus 0.5 into 20,000. That is equal to 4,000 plus 0.5 20,000 is 10,000. So C is equal to 14,000. Either way, you will get the same answer. Is that okay? Method number 1 is better if autonomous consumption is not there. Now, instead of giving autonomous consumption, if they have given some other point, then you have to again do something to make the consumption equation. So then method number 1 is better. Or else, method number 2 is also easy. Is everyone okay with that? This is a good question. I think the hardest question that we have come across for now. Hardest in the sense, not very hard, but for now, this would have been the hardest. Okay. Then 29. Now, economists assume that as real GDP increases, what will happen? Exports will increase, imports will increase, net exports will be constant, net exports will increase, net exports will decrease. What do you all think? The question is this, okay? Listen carefully. In our syllabus, we learn exports are autonomous. In our syllabus, we say no, exports are autonomous. No? Export doesn't depend on income. No? How do you draw your export function? Like this, right? Whatever your income is, your exports are the same. Then also in our syllabus, we learn imports are also autonomous. So we learn that imports are autonomous. But in reality, in the real world, exports are actually autonomous. Exports don't depend much on the income. But imports are not autonomous in the real world. In the real world, imports are income and out. In our syllabus, we just say imports equals 100. But in reality, imports will be, let's say, 100 plus 0.11. There will be an income induced component for imports as well. But in our syllabus, we don't have that. In our syllabus, we are teaching you all that imports are autonomous. But in reality, imports are also income induced. So then, just think, when income increases, exports won't change. Exports are autonomous. What will happen to imports? Look at the equation and tell me, if this Y component increases, if the Y increases, what will happen to imports? Imports will increase, right? If your national income, if your Y, now if Y is 100, 0.y, if Y is 100, then this is 10. If Y is 1000, this is 100. So if whenever Y keeps on going up and up and up, imports go up. Now think practically. If a country, right, their national income is increasing, people's income is also increasing, what are you going to do? You're going to buy a car, you're going to buy laptops, you're going to buy phones. Where are those coming from? Those are all imports, right? So in a country, when national income increases, now part of the national income consumers get no. So we will import, we'll import more and more and more. So when national income increases, imports increase. Exports don't really change. What do you think happens to net exports then? Exports are the same. Imports are rising. Net exports is, in other words, export minus import. What happens to this? Net exports come down, right? Net exports decrease. Because exports are the same, imports are rising, net exports come down. So have that in mind. So which one is the answer? Answer number 5. Net exports will decrease. Is the question number wrong, guys? Yeah, this is the 29th question. So Okay? This is the 29th question in your A-level paper. Fine. Questions, problems, issues. Okay. See if you all, how many of it did you all get right? 2015 had 3 questions. 27, 27 tibba, 28 tibba, and there was 29. How much of it do you got right? 3 out of 3? I got like GDP means AS, then to increase import, increase that one. GDP is not your aggregate supply. You can't say that. You can't say GDP equal to AS. Okay, right. So once again, quickly to summarize question number 29, since there were doubts. Remember, guys, as national income increases, as GDP increases, economists assume exports don't change. Exports are autonomous, doesn't depend on a country's income. Exports don't change. But as GDP increases, we assume people will import more and more. When income increases, you will buy vehicles, you will buy mobile phones, you will buy laptops. So imports will increase. Exports won't change, imports will increase. So if exports are the same and imports are increasing, what is happening to your net exports then? Net exports are coming down, no? Net exports means export minus import. Import is increasing. So basic maths, net exports come down. So your answer has to be either exports will remain constant, or it has to say imports will increase, or it has to say net exports will decrease. So the only thing that talks about that is answer number 5. Okay. Right. That is 2050. Done, done, and done. Okay. So we'll quickly do 2060. I'll give you all a break. Okay.